Hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bitch Sesh.
I'm Casey Wilson.
I'm Danielle Schneider.
I'm so happy to be back.
We missed you. I missed you.
I missed you. Back in your loving arms.
Yes, back in the... Well, we've been in your house for...
Yeah.
Did we leave things okay?
No.
No? Did we... Cups in the sink?
Things were amiss. I'm so glad to be back and thankful for the co-host that stepped in.
Yes, we had some lovely people, including my husband, who
Wonderful.
came on as a guest, and reactions were good. The people really liked what he had to say, so it was great to hear what everybody...
He took a stand and people liked it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be back, though, and we have a guest that we're going to bring out in a second.
I'm very excited.
Back by popular demand and has already thrown around some very controversial...
She said things tonight that I was like, do I know you?
Do I know myself?
Yeah.
Do I know Earth?
Are we still alive? Did we die? And this is
I
some
don't
weird
know.
purgatory we're in?
This is a very special episode of Bitch Sesh. We're recording it way later than normal.
Yeah,
I am not on a muscle relaxer or wine.
And I am on very little sleep.
As am I.
So
It feels good, though.
it's going to be an interesting show.
Before we get into, we're going to bring out a guest, and then we're going to discuss Beverly Hills, the finale, and we're going to discuss, of course, New York. I want to give an apology to our listeners. I'll be honest. I did not watch Dallas.
Either did I. I will say that I am moving. So my
Sure.
DirecTV is out, and so things have fallen by the wayside this week. I have watched clips of things, but we'll be back in on Dallas a little bit. I'd like to see what the...
We're definitely going to go down south, but it's going to be next week, and we apologize. You know, it's our job.
We can't be everywhere all at once.
Be on the front lines, and this has been a tough week.
We have let you guys down, and for that, I am ashamed.
What I did not miss was my favorite show, Southern Charm. Oh my God. My blood is racing. My pulse is racing. Southern Charm is so good. I welcome all thoughts. Anyone who wants to just shoot the shit about Southern Charm. It's in the third season. Each season is masterful.
Really?
Yes. And Danielle, I know
I'm
you
from the South, and so I don't know why
Charleston, this group of bozos, and they're all just gorgeous, and they live in these amazing houses, and the storylines that exist naturally, it is not manufactured. They're all out of their minds.
Are they friends?
Yes. Yes.
We walk into this, like, I picture it like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
It is.
That's what I'm
There's a mother who talks like this.
I love it.
And she's like 60, and she's like at dinner, like hosting socials. And I mean, it is wild. And Danielle, you've promised me you're going to watch it many times.
I
and you
am going to.
haven't.
I haven't.
So to entice you, before we bring out our special guest, I would just like to sing the theme song.
There's a song to it?
Guys, if you watch the show, you love it just as much as I do. And I can't do the woman's voice that does it because I actually downloaded it today. It's a real song, and I'm not going to give her credit.
Like a radio play song?
Yeah, it's on iTunes.
Okay.
And it's called It's Easy. And this is also how she sings it, and it's so enjoyable when it comes on. And just picture like different Southern like gentlemen flashing by the screen.
I love it.
Okay. He's got money. Sorry, but that's how she sings it. Okay, it's so good. Okay. He's got money. He's in magazines. He's got more honeys than any honeybee. Ba-ba-doo, ba-ba-dee-dee-dee. It's easy as the birds and the bees and the 1, 2, 3s. That's it.
It's like some
Guys,
1930s, like...
I wanted to do that. I wish I could have a cabaret show and just do that song. And I know I didn't work on it, but I'll tell you, when you hear in the birds and the bees and the 1, 2, 3s, it's so good.
The thing I can equate it to is that when I watch Downton Abbey, every single time I watch it, I like to watch the opening credits because I like the song. And it seems like you're having the same visceral reaction.
I don't like Game of Thrones, but I love that song.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm like,
heard it done by
something's
cats?
happening.
Have you heard it done by cats?
No.
It's amazing.
Wow.
It's just a bunch of cats being like, "Meow, meow, meow."
Oh, we have fun.
I have to download that for
We
you.
have fun. Guys, without further ado, let's bring on our guest, back by popular demand.
And not just by us, by the world.
Exactly. Miss June Diane by Alene Too.
It's great to be here. It's so
June
great to be here.
Diane
It's been a
Raphael.
while since you've been here.
Oh, it feels like forever ago. It feels like you guys were just starting out, and now look at where you are.
Oh, thanks.
I have to say that theme song makes me crazy too. As
The
you know.
Southern
I do feel the tempo is a little bit faster.
Do you want to take a run at it?
Swing at this?
Okay.
Get right into that mic there.
Okay.
I highlighted.
No, I don't quite know as the birds and the bees and the 1, 2, 3.
As the
but I
birds
feel
and
like
the bees and the 1, 2, 3.
he's got money. He's got. He's got money. He's in magazines. He's got more honeys than any honeybee. Bada-boo, bada. I feel it's much.
Yeah, it's
Here's
like
the thing about
sped
this.
up.
Yes, it's sped up a little bit. But
Is it like a
also-
1930s, like
That's
Victrola
the vibe, but
kind
modernized, and it feels like so fizzy. It feels like a southern cocktail in a song form.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Doesn't it? Like it feels like a mint julep.
It's so good. I accept
can't
your
wait.
criticism, and I think you're
am going
right.
to watch this. I promise. It's really just like I forget, or I'm watching
I
The
urge-
Americans. I don't know what's happening.
Urge you to start at season 1.
and it's not the South, with all due credit, that you know.
Oh,
Trying to get my head around
that's
that.
not a compliment.
No, it actually is. It's not a South, I think, that many people know. I think it's a relic. I
Is
think
it like
it's
debutante balls?
old money.
Yes.
It's
That's the South that, besides the like inherent racism and anti-Semitism, that you sort of dream about in like the movies, like debutante
Yes.
balls and old money and playing, and like lazily
playing cards. I mean,
drinking
that's the
and-
vibe. These men don't have real jobs. I mean, the men are socialites too.
I love that,
It's
though.
very different. There's a
And they're all named like Bootsy or something, right? Like in
Yeah,
nicknames.
there's men named Whitney. There's a guy named Shep is our leading man.
This is
our way in.
Shep is our eyes and ears on the ground.
Shep is the name of a man who like once had money in his young family, but now is like 70 and like.
And I'm sure they're all riddled with STDs, but they're also like there are tons of beautiful men on the show too. I mean, they're gorgeous in a different way than what we're used to.
And they all wear like checkered pants.
Absolutely, and like a pink button-down collared shirt.
Yeah, and they're not afraid of seersucker.
That's right.
Oh, no. There's a man on that show. He's like an ancillary character, the gay guy, Cooper, I think. He's like maybe 70 or 30. Have you seen him? He's a little redheaded guy.
Not the ruddy faced, not the politician's
Oh,
best
God!
friend. Okay.
Oh, okay. No, that guy is my husband's favorite character on television. No, he's obsessed with him. What is his name? It's
his name right
Thomas Ravenau's best friend.
Thomas
and
Ravenau is a
That's a great
character.
Thomas Ravenau, and his father was a senator.
Yeah, and then he had a political career and then was, I think, thrown out of office for
Selling coke.
cocaine.
That's just right, though. You know what I
And
mean?
then
That's
ran
just right.
again under the
then ran
steam
again.
of Whitney. Whitney is the one who's put this all together. Whitney is a character for the ages. He looks like a jack-o'-lantern of plastic surgery.
How old is Whitney?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Whitney's
imagine him.
45.
He's the one that's, well, he was living with his mom. I fell off a little bit the second
Okay.
season, but he was, I think, living with his mom the first season.
But like in that sort of southern way of I gotta take care of mama. You know, like
no,
is it
more than
that?
that, they
More
enjoy
like-
their afternoons together. The
two of them are like,
at 4.
What's the movie with the older woman and the young boy?
Mrs.
Like,
Robinson.
oh no, yes, I know what you're talking about with Ruth Gordon.
Yes. Harold and Maude.
Oh, Harold
Yes,
and
The
Maude,
two of them are...
Yeah, I mean it's very, but there is such a Tennessee Williams vibe to the
Yeah.
whole thing. It's like you can see someone, mostly the men, like passing out because they had a fever.
It's a great show.
It really is, and
No, I will deep dive on it, and I apologize
There's
for it.
lines like Shep says to this other guy. He's like, you gotta work, buddy. You're not like me. You don't have a trust fund, and just said completely.
Jesus,
It's
love
wild.
it. But I like the fantasy of that world where you can kind of not work for a living and just sit out on the veranda having like a mint julep all day.
Yeah, and that's really what's going on.
Shaw's is also back, and then we're gonna immediately transition. And I've caught up with Shaw's. I love the Shaw's of
I've
Sunset.
Never seen the show.
Love the Shaw.
Oh, they've got a theme song too.
Oh, I like that. I don't know that I could sing it, but I love it.
And I've loved them in all their promos. I enjoy them from afar.
They're a lot
just
of
for
fun.
whatever reason.
So fun.
I really like them. I like their friendship. I do believe that they are real friends, and they
That's nice.
have ups and downs, and I follow them. I have not caught up this season yet. Again, I am moving everybody. Things have fallen to the wayside.
I'll just give one quote from Reza this week to start us off, which Reza just said simply, his life goals list is short: get married, build a house, spend time with friends and family, have sex, buy gold. Buy gold. Okay,
And
let's.
how are Reza and Mike?
Reza and Mike are back on.
It seems like that way
Yes.
from the ads and stuff, but
I'd seen them at a Coffee Bean on the Paramount lot a few months ago, and they looked really warm together.
good. Right as rain.
Yeah, and I
Everything is
love
good.
Asa, the Persian pop priestess.
Asa, who was she dating for a while? That was like somebody's son. It was like a famous person's son, and she was like recording with
Asa?
him. Asa, yeah, the singer.
And they are Iranian.
Yes,
Yes.
but she was dating somebody's son. I can't remember. Anyway, it was somebody big.
I love the shots. And then Mercedes is just, she is the true emptied out purse on television. Just her life and her boobs everywhere.
her
She's
mom.
wonderful. Oh,
And Gigi is a maniac.
a maniac. She will murder us all.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to Beverly Hills, the finale. Finally.
Guys, that season went on for 3 years. Am I
If
wrong?
never hear the word Munchausen again, I'll die a happy woman. I mean, it was so boring. It was kind of unbelievable.
So boring.
And I will say I was happy, Danielle, they ended the season at
The divorce.
Hills.
Oh, no.
Well, yes, on the divorce, but also at a big party at the La Quinta.
At her new house that
the
she
Palm
bought with
Springs
that
house.
she
Yes.
bought with the money from selling her family home. That
That's
Kim
right.
will never forgive her.
Her
for.
sister's
Was
blood
that
money.
Palm Springs home, originally Big Kathy's home.
The original was Big Kathy's, and then
this is
Kyle
just-
bought Kim out.
And then
But the real grievance is that she sold the house. So it's
I
like
can
no one
understand
can
that.
go there.
And
I think
can
that is
understand
a big representative of what their relationship is. Like that house and what happened there is symbolic for their exact relationship, I think.
Kim seemed to be doing really well.
I don't know. I saw some of the, like,
I mean, it's very hard with her because even as a sober person, she comes across as drunk. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very hard to pinpoint what her, just neutral state is.
she's also so stunted that she, even sober, she has so many emotional issues that you don't know where she's coming or going.
And I have to say, I think sober is a strong word. There are,
My eyes just went big.
she's on some medication. I mean, come on. She's sober in that I don't think she's drinking anymore. But I think that there's definitely some...
There's mood stabilizers.
There's mood stabilizers,
definitely.
and I think she probably needs them.
Yes.
I don't begrudge her those. I think she should stay on them. But they are doing something to her. I still don't think we've found the correct balance. And I don't know if she's still going to, Dr. Paul, what's his face? Adrian's
Nassif.
husband.
Oh,
yeah.
Nassif.
But something's not... I don't think we've ever seen her just...
Well,
Yeah.
And again, you guys, I saw Lisa Rinna this week. I didn't tell you
Where?
this. I was at the farmer's market and there was like a paparazzi like following somebody around, and it was Harry Hamlin being like, "Get out of my wife's face." And I was like, "Harry, calm down. Like no one's noticing this except for you in the paparazzi's face." It was like a minute ago you would have been dying for this attention. So it was a little bit strange, but I did see Lisa and she looked fantastic in person, as I do feel she does. I think she looks better in person than she does on screen. And so I felt for her again. I was like, oh, maybe I do like.
no,
When she
Danielle.
engaged- I know. But when she engaged with Kim, I was like, leave this woman. I know Kim started the conversation.
Agree
Just get out of the
100%.
conversation.
You have nothing to do with this. Get the fuck out. This woman is sick. So leave her alone.
Just leave her alone. Just here, because Kim pulled her aside. And so it's like, fine, listen to but leave her alone. Like,
I'm also not quite buying. I mean, she loves to say in testimonials, like, I am who I am, and love me or hate me, and I say what I say, and that's that, and this is me. And and I actually feel like I think you have a lot of control over what you say. I think you know exactly what you're saying.
And be funnier if you're going to be that person.
It's not that interesting. You're not Bethany.
Yeah, no.
But I think
She thinks she is. Well, I don't even think she thinks she is. I think she knows she's not deep down, but she's like, gotta sell myself. I'm like, I'm done.
When did that become a thing? Like, I don't remember her last season. I thought she was a breath of fresh for sure, but I didn't think like, wow, finally someone's speaking truth to power.
I think she felt going through this boring season, I got to stir some shit up to keep my job. And then Alene jumped on ship with that brown bang. And
one lone brown bang.
It's just too many lowlights. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's
the worst.
A travesty of lowlights and it's two highlights and ashiness.
It's like one highlight and all low.
It reminded me of in the 1980s when I used to watch my mom pull strands of hair through a shower gap to frost the tips.
And by the way,
it reminded me of that.
I really believe if she found the blonde that was right for her, she would look I do think the cut with the bangs is good. No? You guys, what's happening with those highlights / lowlights is they're coming across as gray.
Ooh.
That stunned us. We were stunned into
Slap me into silence.
In certain
I really had
lights,
to think about that for a
almost
second.
looks like she just has a head of gray hair. And that would be fine, but I don't think that's what she's going for.
No, I don't think that's what she set out for.
It was very the look is also very 1980s with the bangs and I love a bang, and she has the hair for a bang, but it just doesn't look right.
And she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I know you guys have spent a lot of time on Alene, but the thing
Go ahead.
I actually find endearing about her is her lack of style. Like, I actually don't know if I want to return next season. Well, will she be there? Who knows? And see her like with a stylist and having it. Like, there's something about her being off that I appreciate.
Even
I would love it
jumpsuit.
I would love it if she were
she's
off
trying.
and lovable, but she's got nothing to offer.
But what you guys never seem to recognize
Go ahead.
is, I think at the root of her, she's a kind, sensitive person.
That is no business on this show.
Yeah, but so get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You have no business.
Fine. But I do think
Yeah, that's what I don't like about her.
No, I mean,
What are you saying?
What are we doing here if we're kind?
Now we're just letting anyone in.
I
she
guess
doesn't
you're
belong
right.
here.
I mean, you can take
Same
any
with-
woman out of a Marshall's and smack her on the screen and she'll be nice, but that's not why I'm watching this show.
And the same thing befell Kim Fields on Atlanta.
Yes.
It's just like you're too friendly, and it can't work.
Wow. Okay. It just, I had to bring it up because I mean, the way you guys were talking about her was like she had no redeeming qualities. I'm like,
as
I
a
do think
housewife,
she's
not
a
as a
good-
human being.
But that's
Okay,
actually
those are two different
that's a
things.
stain on her nice
And
personality.
I'm seeing that now.
That's actually her worst quality.
is that she's a nice person.
I'll say in the beginning of the episode, Beverly Hills, when Lisa like a lawn chair like enveloped her body and kind of collapsed her. Did you guys see that?
Oh my God.
I was like, well, that's a metaphor for this entire season.
She has come off the worst she's ever come off this season. She
Wow.
looks
You're
desperate.
absolutely right. It was like trapped in your own riches, trapped in your own like decadence and, you know, recline.
You're being
it's like you're
attacked.
sitting, you think you can sit back here and relax? That just bit you in the ass. Like it truly was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And watching Ken be like,
to help her.
like, what did he say? Like, so he is.
He
He's
said
a
Lisa was a
misogynist, you
bitch.
guys, and it's just true. Like the way he speaks about women.
And so's Lisa.
Lisa Vanderpump.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the way he's like, she's a bit like, he just is such a nasty, like, he should be saying to his wife, like, this is insane. Why care about this? You know what I mean? Like, why, as opposed to being like, she's a nasty little bitch. And like,
he was like, she's not the ticket.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, Ken, neither are you.
Neither are you, buddy boy.
I'm so sorry. Neither are you.
Owning those shit restaurants and trying to tell me they're classy. Like, sorry.
And Lisa
That's
did.
nasty,
Lisa
but-
Vanderpump did seem genuinely shocked that he was so.
well, didn't he say you used to,
Vile.
she said you used to like her or whatever, like, I forget.
I'm having a little, and I don't want to sort it out, but I do feel that whole fight is much like Kyle by Alene Too. I can't get my head around it.
Get my head around.
Does anyone want to give their best guess at what
Because
happened?
I've watched recaps, I've watched them tell
Well,
others.
it's not on camera,
and
Most
that's
of
on you, Bravo. And you have done that. The fucking only 2 things have happened this season that are even worth seeing, and we don't even see them on camera.
saw
Like at the end of this episode, Lisa Vanderpump apologizes to Faye Resnick, not on camera.
Missed it.
Missed it. It's like, guys, frame
Let's put
up.
another steady cam on a PA
Or
and get
ladies,
rolling.
if you're going to say something, say it on camera. That's also your fault, ladies.
Oh, wow. You're putting it on them.
I do. I kind of feel like I understand you're living.
They were asking for it. It
but
sounds like
you know,
you're saying.
it's like, then don't make this the drama. If we didn't see it, then it didn't happen.
Wow.
So to make the focus of this fight something that happened off camera?
What's interesting about the David Foster of it all, not to jump ahead, but I feel like, you know, that's something where I think Yolanda and David thought they were keeping it all off camera and didn't realize, like, we actually saw all we needed to see.
Yes.
We saw it all like
all
that
there.
see-through fridge.
Yeah.
We saw it all.
That was full of, turns out, fake fruit. That was
The fact that they ended the
Did you see,
entire
like, half that fruit was fake
steak because they can't get to it.
because they didn't reach
And
it.
to end the finale essentially on a selfie between Yolanda and Davy by the Davy.
David, you guys are awful,
Guys,
awful chummy with David Foster.
Yo-Yo, and D. When they took a selfie by the lemon tree, and then it was like them looking over at the sunset
Well, those
The sunset
lemons
of
have
their
become
relationship.
such a metaphor because
and the limes.
because, you know, she called herself a lemon, and then because she got sick, like why that makes you a lemon, I don't know. But also, I don't know if you remember when she tried to get Kim Richards on a lemon cleanse.
Oh yeah.
It was like her own personal, like, homeopathic rehabilitation. But these lemons have followed us, and now seeing her in her new condo,
I have never seen a darker.
it was.
And when Erica tried to say the energy was good, I'm like, the energy's horrible. It's jumping off the screen.
And when she was like, this is a place for my family where they, like, I thought of them all huddled around. And then what was that, like, weird hyperbolic chamber?
Okay, I did laugh out loud.
Okay, I was dying.
That cut I was not ready for.
When they cut to her in an igloo of tinfoil.
No mention of it, though.
She's like, hi, baby. What you doing, baby?
I
Oh
want
my
a super
God.
cut of her talking to them and all the different outfits and things attached to her while she's like, baby, how is the show? Like, I want, like, it was so
Yeah, it was-
strange.
With just her head popping out of like a...
It was like wearing a dice
Space-
costume or something. Like, it looks so crazy.
I was so confused.
And when they first cut to her, though, in that condo, and she, you know, the 2 months later, and she's like hunched over a saucepan, like, oh, so sad.
It seems a step down from the, like, downtown condo where she was, the efficiency apartment. Or maybe
they the same?
I don't know,
yeah,
I
it
don't
just
know.
felt like it felt like a lateral move.
Well, and
to
they
me.
did her dirty because they'd been showing like everyone's outside of their places and like zooming in on Lisa Vanderpump's pool and even Yolanda and David's like Malibu. And then they just like took the camera over like a bunch of buildings. So it was just like, oh.
I mean, I feel for her.
I do
really
too.
do. I feel for that woman. And I have to say, like, man, fuck Lisa Rinna. Like, and God help her if she ever gets sick. Like, I just really feel this has been a horrible thing for her to do. And the last episode, she was apologizing. She was blaming it on Lisa.
And saying that Yolanda's manipulative. It's like,
Yes,
this
or
woman's
strange.
sick.
and also saying, like, oh, now I understand she was getting a divorce. It's like, no, actually, I think
she's
she was sick. I think the woman was sick.
I know. I love that Lisa's takeaway was like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew there was something
Right.
else.
Because for her, what she can sympathize with is not a woman being chronically ill that never goes away, but rather like the idea of a woman being left by a man because it makes her feel better.
because she can get her head around that.
Yes.
Wow. She looked especially crazy in the finale. Like her face and hair and makeup at the La Quinta party was she didn't look right to me.
Lisa?
Yes.
Rinna, and the thing I have to say, though, there's been a lot of wig controversy, but the strange thing about her haircut is the sides of it, when they flip up at the ends, are so held. I mean, they do not move.
Because that wind was blowing everyone off that balcony.
Erica Jane looked like a mess.
Kim
a
would just
pretty
like had
mess.
like a wig of hair in front of her, just like.
But those ends on Lisa Rinna's
don't
hair,
move.
they don't
Maybe
move.
that's
for
what I love
or
about
money.
them. That their consistency in a windy world. They stay straight. The consistency of those, they make me feel safe.
I did laugh at the conversation between Eileen and Vinny.
Oh, that was watching his face during that conversation of how bored and angry and
I don't think they have much.
no, they are.
What are they connecting on?
I don't know, but watching him, I don't know who I felt worse for because I was like, okay, this is awful to hear this and having to listen to this possibly every day about these women's friendships that he does not know or care about and having to pretend he cares. That's a miserable situation
And this
to be
is
in.
a story that none of us can
Yeah,
follow,
I
and we've
can't
been
understand-
watching
Truly.
it. So how is he going
Well,
to
okay,
follow?
what
and I
is
saw
it?
her through his eyes at that moment.
Here's what I think might have happened.
Okay.
I do think Vanderpump, because we did see Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump in Italy, I think, talking about Yolanda's illness.
Yes.
At the beginning of this season, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, the season has been.
I mean, it's been interminable.
That
So-
was 34 years ago.
So
you were a year old.
So I do think what probably happened is that they were at Vanderpump's. Vanderpump brought it up and was like, this is confusing. She seems happy one day. She seems sick the next day. And then they dispersed. Wait, because this wasn't the same day we saw on camera, was it? Where Rinna actually
No,
brought
that was
up
a
the
different
word.
day.
That was
That was a
different
different thing.
episode. She just like weirdly walked into Vanderpump's in a business suit and was like, something's nagging at me.
I met someone at Whole Foods and they said,
my
"Munch
hair
Guys,
haircut."
I know I started off trying to explain this, so that's as far as I could get.
Yeah, I was with you.
Far
I was
as
with you.
could
I thought
get.
you had held answers for us. You could unlock.
You were
the
so
only thing that I'm
confident.
confused about. I got confused as I was telling it because then I flashed to a scene between Rinna and Taylor, where Taylor was like,
Stirring
that was the
pot.
party at Lisa Vanderpump's on
Right,
that weird
and Rinna-
porch outside.
Yeah, and Rinna really defended Yo. So now I don't know. I don't have a timeline, and I really don't know what happened.
Okay, I'm going to try
What's
and
your
explain.
bet?
Okay, go ahead.
It's going
Go
to go
ahead.
off the rails real fast. And I can't give you an exact timeline of events or like what happened when, but my understanding of a situation is that Kyle and everyone had been sort of talking around things for a while. Like, oh, it's so funny. She's this way in pictures sometimes. She's this way in pictures other times. Everyone's sort of talking around it. And then Rinna comes in and is like, Munchausen.
Okay, we saw
Introduces
that.
Munchausen,
Yes,
which we saw on camera. And then Lisa behind the scenes tried to make a play to
that
invite-
day, well, the
that
cameras
day,
shut down, the crew is left,
then
and now
Lisa
they're in the foyer.
Tried to get Rinna kind of to get Kyle into that, to blame Kyle in some weird way. Have I lost you?
I think it fell apart. I'm with you.
I am with you for so
I
much of that.
thought,
what's your
I don't
theory?
know. I thought maybe Lisa's the one that said Munchausen to begin with, but didn't want to say it on camera. And Lisa, could it be that Rinna was like, someone told me this? But why would she say it to Lisa? It makes no sense.
I don't know what really happened, but I really don't. Like, what really happened is kind of... No, I don't know what we're supposed to think happened, but I think what really happened might have been that Rinna just decided, like... And Rinna and Kyle and Lisa decided, we're going to bring this to in front of the camera.
Or they had talked about it and Rinna was like,
Yes.
I've got the
And
balls.
Rinna
I'll
was
do
like,
it.
I'm going to do it.
And I'm going to blame it on a hair person. Who cares?
Yeah, or even like the scene with Taylor. Like, we've already seen her. Where she's gonna engage in this.
Yes.
She brings it up on camera.
and they fall
they-
They
silent.
fall very silent.
Guys, I think you
Interesting.
figured
this
it out.
Is it?
Is this it?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're backtracking
And
already.
then, okay, but maybe
It
what
sounds
happened
good.
afterwards is that the cameras
And it sounds
everybody
like
packed
them.
up, and it does sound like them. Everybody packed up, and then as they're walking out from Vanderpump's house, Rinna says, like,
Guys.
guys.
Uh-huh.
And
Left
Vanderpump
me out there
says,
swinging.
well, you're not going to bring me down without bringing Kyle down, because she was also talking about it.
I think this might
Okay.
be it.
And
Come
I
on to
think
something
when we
here.
get Mohammed into the mix, when Lisa did try to kind of say like, oh, her kids have Lyme and I'd never known that. And Kyle and then
Kyle really tried to get
did.
something stirred up
She
there.
did.
she did. But then Yolanda, well, I guess Yolanda did seem to be mad at Kyle. It was almost like Lisa Vanderpump though. Who did she get off the hook on that? It's so boring. And it literally, the fact that they had this one storyline span 20 episodes makes me less clear.
Yeah, because who can follow after a while?
I did read that. I think Jolanda said on Andy Cohen's that Mohammed hasn't spoken to Lisa in 8 months.
Vanderpump?
Pump.
Wow. Because that was a relationship for the ages.
Yes, as we remember from the Mermaid Party, they were big as thieves.
Well, that's Beverly Hills. I mean, it was boring. Nothing was on camera.
It came in with a whimper and left with a
One thing, the last thing I'll
rattling death breath.
The one thing I will say about Erica Jane, who was a bright light this season, I mean, let's be very clear, but she, you know, in the last scene she had with Yolanda where she was, you know, kind of trying to cheer her up, it did make me laugh that she was so inspired by Yolanda's outlook on life.
I wrote the same line down.
It's like the fact that you think your best days are ahead of you? Wow.
June, I wrote down. I said Erica cheers her up by saying, I love that you believe your best days are ahead and not behind you. Basically like
blind faith.
She's like, because you ain't seeing what I'm seeing, but you're brave. She's like, God bless you. Living here and still feeling that?
You are
and without your husband
and your health.
I mean, you were a
wow. All the kids are gone. Wow.
She's like living in this shithole. She's like, because I saw some pretty nice stuff in the rear view. Oh, God. That will segue us actually quite nicely to New York. What a great episode, I thought.
I loved it.
In which Carol proclaims she has only 5 summers left.
That was
5 good summers.
That's the darkest sentence I've heard in a long time. I have 5 good summers. I mean, that made me look at my own summers.
Yeah.
How many summers do I have?
I think we may have been talking over the testimonial she did afterwards, but she wasn't saying I have 5 summers to live.
No, she just meant like
she was
as
saying
my best self.
But might as well have been.
Might as well have been.
Because once you're not your best self, what do you, I mean,
That was really sad. When she said I have to prioritize my time, it felt like she was treating it almost like a death.
Well, she's such an interesting character because it's so, nothing lands on Carol. I mean, I've never seen someone fly through life so fancy. And I know she's had major tragedy in her life, but she, you know, we saw her on the front of a bicycle just, you know, strolling down with a very young hipster strolling through the East Village.
I mean, she was wearing a leather jacket.
Right.
Which I loved. I thought she looked terrific. We've had some disagreements over some things that appeared tonight. So June has had some controversial thoughts. I think Casey and I agreed on some of the stuff.
But she looked fresh.
June took a wild turn.
I did not like Adam's introduction this season. I like Adam a lot better when Adam is quiet. And Adam came in last episode. I don't want to talk about last episode, but guns a-blazing with like
with the photography.
Yes, and saying he's going to buy everything in the store. And I found him to be, I saw a lot more of his personality and I didn't like it.
Wow.
I like a more quiet, food-centered, smelling the sights and sounds Adam.
You like Adam kind of under the Countess's thumb as an employee.
Feels
preparing
like a
the meals
place.
and keeping the mouth shut.
Yeah, like hiding behind
in the kitchen and in the bedroom, Adam. That's for you.
Yeah. So I was stunned by him and I didn't like what I saw. Now, I will say this. I think Luanne's insane. I do.
Her voice has gotten deeper and darker.
Yes. But
really
I do take a little bit of an issue with Carol's. Carol's dismissal of Luanne's issue with her dating her niece's ex-boyfriend. But
the phrase niece's ex-boyfriend, it's not
her
ex.
It wasn't her ex.
I beg you to refer to another Bravo show, which I believe was called like Modern Art or Art.
I remember Sarah Jessica Parker
produced it. Yes. And Countess Luanne's niece was on that show. And I believe Luanne showed up as either a patron or just a mentor. Luanne's actually quite close to that niece. And
she has made appearances on Real Housewives.
Yes, she went downtown to see her.
They have a very
she did
special
go downtown.
Relationship. She was like, and she was so surprised she was downtown. She talked about it as if she was like in another universe.
Yes, it's a special relationship. And I do think a boundary was crossed. And I think it's okay. And I think it can be recovered from. But Carol's attitude about it, it did didn't sit well with me. I felt like she was like, whatever, it's your niece, they're broken up. It's like, well, actually, that is my niece. I know you guys, that word holds no weight for you, but to me, it's like, that's a child in a way. I mean,
I'm going to hear you. I hear you. I will say that, yes, you're not wrong. And maybe Carol was a little bit dismissive of it. That said, how down and dirty Luanne got and how up on her high horse and how much she enjoyed being up on that high horse about Carol in this was not a good look on her.
When I think Luanne is also engaging in some very shady activity.
She is.
Very
and
shady
very
sexual activity, I find.
That's very true.
It's sort of sad though because that they couldn't work it out because they did used to be good friends. Remember?
Yes.
They were running around with that one and the other one.
Yeah, but they always, the Countess versus the Princess. I mean, there was their first trip together, wherever that was, to London.
Yes.
I mean, they got off on a tough foot.
Right.
Countess is not in a good place though. Like she's
bunking with Sonia.
Yeah, sure. I think she's drinking, and I'm just saying this, but like just because her voice is just like so at the bottom part of her register.
Well, she's literally used to be wearing like evening gowns and have drivers, and now she's like in jeans and like with her legs open, like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah,
and it's just like, ooh.
She's now like Pennsylvania or wherever she came from.
Yeah, she's that nurse and again,
I love
but like
it. I love it.
I
Don't
like
get me
this
wrong.
side of her, but it's just a different side of her.
And why did she give up that Manhattan apartment?
June.
She couldn't afford it,
I think.
Did she not get anything in the settlement?
I think she got the Hamptons house. For a long time, it seemed like Luanne wanted to set up permanent residence in the Hamptons.
I think she had to.
So because that was a brownstone, I believe, a full brownstone.
So yeah, she is sort of getting back to her roots because she didn't come from money and she was kind of just a regular girl, as we've seen in those pictures with like,
A regular girl who loves her niece.
but then she put on these airs.
But as somebody,
Just a girl in love with her niece.
You have a niece, Casey, and
And
I
I
hate
love-
to make this
oh my gosh.
personal, but if all of a sudden I was dating your niece's ex-boyfriend, like that's a little think about that.
Okay,
That's a little weird.
It is weird. You're right. Look, here's the thing. It's definitely weird. I just feel like it actually seems to be a real relationship, and
At this point, so you'd come to be okay with it. But
I don't know if I would.
But
Thank
Luanne
you. It's
also,
a little weird.
Luanne
You were
went
dating
nuts.
my niece. Would be weird.
But Luanne
weird.
sort of like just took these weird low blows about it that were
Definitely.
ugly and below her of what I had come to like and expect of the Countess with class, as she claims to be, writes a book about it.
I think what I wanted from Carol was some
Acknowledgement.
I feel like she lives above the fray and she, floats around on bicycles and nothing touches her.
That's true.
And I know a lot has touched her in her life, so I will give her that. But it seems like after that, nothing touched her. And I felt a little bit like, no, sweetie, you pushed it here. You pushed it, and that's okay. But you did
Come correct.
Yes, and also. He was also sort of an employee. I guess that muddles things a little too much, but it was strange. And I think Carol feels she's so fancy free that she doesn't subscribe to the rules of society.
Speaking of not subscribing to the rules of society, let's just get into John. I felt so badly for Dorinda tonight.
I
did too.
I love Dorinda.
Me too.
I love Dorinda.
She's
so
so
much.
real. She is herself.
for her.
She's her truest self.
It was heartbreaking, genuinely, when she said, I was with a husband, I buried a husband. It's horrible.
I feel like she is who she is. And is John unlikable? Yes. Is John disgusting?
Yes.
Yes.
But does she
Yes,
love
yes,
him?
and yes.
But does she love him? Yes.
1,000 times
so
yes.
leave her alone, and he's not hurting her.
Of course not. And the thing that was so strange about it, and you said this while we were watching it, Casey, but it's like, well, we all see this. Are we so unkind that we have to say it to her? It's like, of course, this is not a revelation. And I don't think it's a revelation to Dorinda either. It's like she sees this too.
And guess what? She's embarrassed, but life didn't turn out the way she wanted.
And this is where we're at.
And fuck them.
And I do think, obviously, John is very different from Richard, but I think there's also something happened for Dorinda after losing her husband, which was life became disgusting without Richard.
Wow.
And she found
Wow.
and-
This is a very special episode.
it became wrong. It became
Because
gross.
Richard seemed so sophisticated.
Of course.
They were living in London, living this with socialites and
wearing Chanel suits with like toddlers running around. Like when she was in her young motherhood, like it was all of those things were Richard. It was intelligence. It was, respect. And life without him is vile. And she has found a representation of that. And that feels good for her. It feels good.
I just saw everything through like how in TV shows where like everything like sort of like spins and like but then comes into like an insane focus. Like that's just what happened.
Because it makes no sense. I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
She's beautiful,
She's
even though we
absolutely-
disagree about
we really
that
do
testimonial
disagree.
outfit.
Her hair,
I'm ready to do this.
her hair, and in those chain link earrings, and that testimonial outfit, the scuba suit with the popped collar, the bright electric blue with the purple wave.
The scaly iguana skin that she has put on and called a coat.
June Diane proclaimed she looks terrific.
Because you know why? She gives me such Princess Diana vibes that like even when Princess Di did like crazy like late 80s looks, it always looked to me I still see her as beautiful.
Talk about someone who hasn't found the right shade of blonde.
Dorinda.
See, I think when she's lit in the testimonials,
Yes.
it looks better.
I
And I
agree.
like her with like that smoky eye makeup. I think she's beautiful.
I do too.
I really do.
I would just love a bit of a different haircut. It feels like someone put the scissors down halfway through and wandered off.
Where did they go? Are they coming back?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Are they okay?
No, they're with the crew
get a
members
phone
that packed up in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They've packed up and gone home.
No, I mean, and that skull long tank top which she wore.
That
John
was
picked out.
I don't
Did he
know.
pick out or just dry clean?
Oh, you're right. He just dry cleaned it.
It was like a specialty item because it was sequins. So it was like, he took care of that on his own.
John's
Poor John can't get a
dry cleaning
powder.
office made me sad this week when I saw those like weird 1980s like photos of women in like trench coats that had been like dry cleaned. Like that was a real like I saw the Upper East Side dry cleaner that he.
Well, and by the way, I said this while we were watching. I wasn't expecting him at the desk. I thought in my mind, well, he owns
ran the
he owns a
operation.
bunch of dry. Like this
You
is something
picturing
we
him
could franchise.
In a corner office?
Yeah, in an office somewhere. Like,
Dry cleaning, do you know that has like an office behind?
no.
John's always so eager. He's like, you want me for dinner? You want me for drinks? He's just
He
so... And I know he doesn't talk like that.
He does, though. I don't think that was. I do think that John has a Brooks quality about him. He is like a New York Brooks because he's always sort of telling Dorinda what he thinks she wants to hear. I find you beautiful. I love you. Like, and it doesn't ring always so true to me. Not that he doesn't, but like it feels like he's trying really hard. And I felt that about Brooks too. And again, I don't think he's trying to steal her money or anything. I don't think he's a con man. I just think he says what he thinks that he wants her to hear. It doesn't ring true to me.
The way that scene snowballed with Bethany, why was she attacking her? What does she care? And then Ramona picking the most ill-timed to chime in with her
Ramona.
new
My favorite
double
thing-
D breasts.
My favorite thing about Ramona, though, is that what happens to Ramona when things get like really tricky, like when she knows she's in such deep waters and she doesn't know how she got there, she doesn't know how to get out, and she's just like stunned by it all. She almost goes silent.
That's the only
takes
time we
on
see her
a persona
silent.
that's like not smiling, but not smiling, and just like very silent and strange.
And she'll pull some faces like, oh. Like, woo.
But
Yeah,
it's really
there's a lot of
interesting.
faces. She stopped speaking, but her face keeps speaking. Like
Yes.
her face is like kind of moving all over the place.
And I like the way Dorinda goes from 0 to 100.
Oh, I love it.
Loved it.
Took them down. And the promo for next week, John showing up with
Skinny
his
cow.
tie
and the
undone.
skinny cow.
He looked like he had just been at boutique and was. Is that what it's called?
Boutique, yes.
I would
Boutique
love
is
to go to
I would
boutique.
love girls. Can we take a field trip to
Honestly,
boutique?
I need to need to get there.
I think I'd feel at home at Boutique.
I'm so glad Boutique is there for us. I genuinely
and
am.
for them.
At an
For
age
them,
that,
like-
guys, I'm going to be honest, is not so far away.
No, I would feel more comfortable at Boutique right now than like a hip.
Well, and you said it, watching Dorinda and Ramona straddling an air conditioner. It was.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on, and you're like, they're hot.
Yeah, they're hot.
They're
menopausal.
They're menopausal.
They're very warm.
The way that I don't like it, this happened with Brandy last year, and this happened with Jules when she's like, I don't know, they're menopausal. Like, you know what, honey?
Not a great look.
It's not a good look. And menopause, like, we're women. This is
what's happening, and I'd rather watch these
and
women
it's coming
than you.
for us all. It's coming for us all.
Yeah, I think Jules will not be back next season. I think
Yeah.
we can say that safely.
Very safely.
And I'm surprised they didn't just get tired an episode in. Like, I know what she's about.
terrible.
Guys, I mean, we're coming to an end. I mean, is there anything else we want to say? I mean, before we have, some photos we'd love you to comment on.
I'd love to. No, I just, I lost respect for Bethany again.
That was she didn't have to go there, and sometimes Bethany can't help herself and says, but this one felt like a low blow, and I didn't understand where it was coming from.
By the way, I did understand what Dorinda meant when she said, and I know Bethany's like, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I'm wearing a white shirt. I'm wearing, why is she coming after me? But when Dorinda said, you always have to one up me, and you've always done something, because that is Bethany, who's like, I knew her. Yeah, no, I've been here. Yeah, I got this.
She can never not know something. She can never not know.
Never not know.
And I was saying the only person I like her around is Carol, because she seems to have respect and thinks Carol's cool, and she's kind of lighter around Carol.
Yes.
With the other women, she just treats them like garbage.
She does.
Yeah, she's.
And I thought she was kind of close with Dorinda.
Oh, was it terrible?
It was a power
her.
move. I felt it was a power
do.
move. I felt like she was just like, I don't like him, and I'm going to say it. And I just felt like, no. This is and I also think that Bethany does not have love in her life right now. And so even if this love isn't perfect, I think Bethany thinks I'm just waiting for like the perfect guy, because I've been hurt before. So here's a woman that maybe hasn't found the perfect guy, but it works for her right now.
Of course.
Dorinda's not
And
And your
Crazy.
husband won't even give you a divorce. He's holding up like a shut-in in your $13 million apartment. Like,
Well, that's the strange thing. It's like, of course it's not great. And of course we all see that. And we
but
know
also,
why.
of course, she's going to sell him because she wishes it were otherwise. And I just felt bad for her.
And that deserves our sympathy.
But he's not
our,
hurt.
like,
Yeah.
He's also not hurting her. You know what I mean? Like with Vicky and Brooks.
But I didn't think that Viagra thing was that bad.
Either
I
did
didn't
I. I was
either.
like, he's proud. I'm like, you ladies have shown like your vaginas and everything else on camera. You've told us about your sex lives, and we see your one night stands with like a pirate, like for the world to see. And that we're so prude about like what he said about her.
Right. And then when Bethany last year in the Berkshires is so offended when Heather simply tries to say, I mean, I hate Heather. I can't believe I'm defending her, but just like tries to get into her life and figure out what's going on. She's so deeply offended.
So upset.
And so vulnerable. And I felt this way about Bethany and Erica Jane when she came after Erica Jane. It's like, don't go after these very special flowers.
They shine in a dull world.
In a different way than you do, and that's okay. Like, let them be.
And I thought it was rude for her to bring up the fact that her husband asked for a business contact. It's like, yeah, you know what? He probably did. And you have done well at your business, but stop making everybody feel badly as though they want so much from you. People
put that on TV,
like
it's
to make
like,
contacts. You
And
made
also,
him look
like,
so terrible.
Then just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to
course.
respond, but to humiliate Dorinda and him even. Like, he
Yeah.
put himself out there. You don't want to do it. Don't humiliate him. That's a normal thing to, like, network. Sometimes networking is awkward and rude and whatever it is, but then just don't give him your number. It's that easy.
Guys, we're really we're going through it here in New York.
But at least it's
I
something
wanna hear
real.
about
It's something
Skinny
I
Cow.
can sink my teeth into.
Cannot wait for next week.
Cannot wait for Skinny Cow.
June, before we stop, we're just going to flash you a few hairstyles, and
my
we'd love
gosh.
to hear just thoughts right off the top.
Okay. Opening thoughts.
Too long or short, or just thoughts?
Anything that comes to mind. And I know you guys can't see the photos, but they're current day. It's just to jog memory. This is Jolander's current shorter do.
I love it. Now, I will say, I think the best way to do this because in this photo, it's sort of flat. When she showed up at Kyle's party with that hair up like that.
the pompadour.
The pompadour. I thought she looked amazing. I love this on her.
All right.
All
we
righty.
gonna win.
This is Kyle's shorter do.
This is from her Instagram.
waiting
Everybody
for
go on
this.
Kyle's Instagram and see that she's cut her hair a bit.
I've been waiting for this. What's interesting about Kyle as a person is that even when she has short hair, she has long hair.
Yes. I agree with that.
So she
statement.
can't win.
It needs to be shorter.
It needs to be shorter than this. And
Wow.
I know what she was trying to do, but it's still too much hair.
Yes, I agree.
This is Bethany's
this is
shorter do.
Bethany's new short do,
I love
everybody.
Bethany's new
Me
short
too.
do. I think
I
it's
love
a
it.
breath of fresh.
Me too.
And it's looking better and better on screen. Like when she first did it, I was like, think I like this, but it could go
Yeah,
either
no,
way.
it's
And
great.
it's looking great.
Here is Dorinda Medley. This is actually her hair looks nice in this photo, but
See, I'm gonna pull up Dorinda and I'm gonna pull up Jolanda and see like if we could get Yolanda's new haircut on Dorinda. I think it would be great.
If one of our
And color.
listeners could put Yolanda's haircut on Dorinda so we could see that. You guys have
That
been really
mashup.
great with
and if you can switch their
Photoshop.
earrings as well, that would be great. Now here's Jules. Now
Too much hair.
I actually think Jules' hair works for her.
as do I.
Guys, it's a shade away from witch. I mean, it's very
Is it
witchy.
Carlton?
It's very Carlton. She's giving me Carlton vibes all over the place here.
Wow.
And I would like to say something about Jade, which we didn't say, which is why is she doing all those activities at night?
Who's Jade?
I mean, sorry.
Oh, Jules.
Jules, sorry. I
In
don't know
the
why I called her
morning.
Jade. Yeah, why is she doing like
Never
all the
heard of a bath in the
bathing in the
morning.
morning and the sex in the morning, like everything in the morning, like spread it out.
Yeah.
Some at night.
Yeah.
It was giving me
Yeah.
anxiety.
Me
That she was trying to
too.
get too much done in the morning.
Me too. Now this is Ramona's new hair. Kind of seems to be extensions this
Yes.
season.
Sure, just please post up. It's insane.
Let me see it. Oh, that.
I mean, those boobs, that hair.
The extensions are insane, Casey. And
I
I know
think-
you said that. And of course, like here's the thing about extensions: they look great on all of us? Do you know what I mean? Like they're always going to look great,
And they do.
and they do, but they are ridiculous.
I think she looks breezy and fun. And I think in that weird workout scene where she was just talking on the phone in workout clothes with her new boobs, and it was kind of messily thrown up in a pony, I thought, I like it.
I thought it was reminiscent of like Britney Spears. Like, remember when Britney, or sometimes still, like just doesn't give a shit, and like you can see all the
Yeah, I
extensions.
thought something was weird
and
happening in-
that was the
pony.
vibe I was getting.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I don't know about these extensions. I mean, they're just so obviously extensions. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
I like to be
you
fooled a
haven't
little
done
bit.
anything
Yeah.
to, yeah.
Well, we've discussed Eileen's brown stripe.
Eileen does. It has a
I wanna
Cruella
look at it
Deville
again.
kind of.
Do you see
thing.
what I'm saying now, you guys, about this being like a gray? What's that woman's name from What Not to Wear or Fashion something or other?
Stacey London.
Stacey London. It looks like a Stacey London like shock of gray, like something happened and she dramatic event.
Like in
And
Poltergeist at the end, and like Joe Beth Williams like has like a silver streak from like being in a pool
Yes.
surrounded by dead people, like that kind of thing happened.
But
to
again,
Eileen.
this is why I find Eileen endearing, because she doesn't have it all right. You know,
No, she doesn't.
Not nearly.
Not nearly. And the final photo is not a housewife, but I think it's important to discuss the hairstyle on Julia Roberts in Mother's Day. Please go online and please look it up.
Take
It
a
is
gander.
an orange bob with bangs.
What is it? This is the same man that put her as Pretty Woman, and I don't know what's happening here.
I mean, how many people said
I've
yes to
honestly
that?
been stunned into silence looking at this. But see, this is one of those things where I think this might be the actress with an idea of what
Which
she
you should
wants
never
to
have.
do.
Jennifer
Yeah,
Aniston seems to get a lot of those ideas. Like, I'm going to go mousy and brown. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, sweetie.
nobody wants to see that.
We want you as we know you.
Yes.
And we don't want you any other way. We will reject you.
Wow. Maybe it was because they're in the same movie and it's like, well, we can't have two of our America's sweethearts. We can't have two sweethearts sharing the screen together. Like, we have to really,
Yeah, and Kate Hudson's in it too.
well, that's three sweethearts right there.
But that red bob, which is slanted,
It's got like an Anna Wintour thing.
yes,
Yeah, is
and that
what they're
color.
going for?
And I think, and I have not
it's
seen the
also-
movie. I know nothing about it, but I believe in an ad they said like, I'm childless and like something like.
Oh, I auditioned
Mother's
for
Day.
it.
Oh,
Did not read the script.
You auditioned for this part?
this role? For this wig?
No, not for this role. I
For this hair?
Yes. I was called back for the wig.
For the wig? You just had to hop on her head and like and hang there.
Yeah, they said I was too exciting. They wanted a more lifeless Bob.
What upsets me about this photo we're seeing in it too is like we do know this is a wig. Of course, it's a wig.
Yeah, I hear
But it
Tilda
actually-
Swinton got the role of the wig. That's Tilda Swinton up there, guys.
Yeah, and she's doing great. But it also looks like this is a hairstyle that cannot go more than a week, 4 days without being trimmed, or things go awry.
I think things are awry.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. In this photo, it also looks like, well, but this is a haircut that needs to be trimmed, but it's a wig. We know that.
Oh, right.
Why isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's had a fresh cut.
It's also maybe this is because we do know she has so much hair under there.
That's my baby monitor going off.
But it also just looks so wide.
Yeah. Guys, everyone look up this picture. Julia Roberts in Mother's Day. You don't have to see the movie, but look at the picture. For your own sake.
Oh, for your own
Look at the
sake.
I mean, I saw it on the poster and I was shocked.
I was stunned.
Yeah.
It was really,
It was
truly
a choice.
shocking.
A bold choice was made.
Well, I remember you were really upset about that movie. I can't remember the movie, but it was like Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks on a scooter with a scarf.
I was in that movie and was cut out.
So sorry, Danielle.
I was cut out of that movie, but
What was it called?
it was called like, it's not Mr. Holland's Opus, but it was something like Jerry. I was in it. I did.
He played a
scene.
conductor?
He directed it. He
Okay.
was, and I was in the scene. It was me and Cedric the Entertainer, and Tom directed me.
I like that pairing. I mean, and I obviously love Tom Cruise, but the photo of Julia on the back of that bike with a scarf trailing off is burned into my
Larry
brain.
Crown.
Larry Crown.
Is that it? No.
Yes, I
Yes.
was in it.
Isn't that Renee Russo?
No,
No, that's
the
Thomas Crown Affair.
Okay, I'm getting off here.
Oh God, guys, so many hair choices. And
This
there's some
was-
odd hair in Stepmom too.
Yeah, but I felt like that was her hair in Stepmom.
Do you remember in Stepmom when just out of nowhere the three of them, the daughter and the Susan Sarandon and Julia Roberts, are dancing to "Ain't No Mountain High"?
I loved it.
No
I will say I
Valley
loved it. I loved it, and I'll watch that on TNT anytime it's
I'm
on.
just going back to this picture of Dorinda. I mean, what a life force, though. I mean, she's just the best. I know this picture isn't great, but isn't she just the
I love her.
best?
I love her.
I love
this
her.
woman.
It sounds like you love her even more than Luanne's niece.
Who you really have come to bat for.
You have gone to bat for
She
her.
is. Would you say that Luanne's niece is your favorite housewife?
Yes, she's one of my closest friends.
Okay, we're gonna sign off. This has been such a pleasure to have you back, June.
I mean, it's felt great. Thank you for having me.
June Diane Raphael, who is in Grace and Frankie on Netflix.
Yes. Second season starts May 6th.
Everybody, check it out. Check out the first season while you're waiting. If you haven't seen it already,
If you haven't seen it, it's June, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Martin Sheen, Sam
Waterston. I mean, this is a cast.
Dream Team.
Absolutely.
Dream Team. You can follow June on Twitter
You can
Yes,
listen to our
at Miss June
podcast.
Diane.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah.
and her podcast, How Did This Get Made? Also on Earwolf. Guys, I'm going to let you go. I am going to just tell our listeners one devastating piece of news. In Atlanta, I was talking to a sommelier. Don't worry about it. At a restaurant, and I asked her about Whispering Angel, and she said to me, quote, 3 words that were hard to hear: for the masses. You know what?
Wow.
I'm ignoring that. Something's, that's, no. For the masses,
Wow.
guys.
For
But you
the
know what? We are the masses, and I love it.
I
don't
do
think
too.
that's necessarily a bad thing.
I don't either.
I like what the people like. What's wrong? I like a movie. I like Star Wars. Is that for the masses? Yes, it is.
I also like a Bud Light.
Oh, I enjoy a Bud Light.
I like a Bud Light with lime too.
I'll go out and say I like a Rolling Rock.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I am
And by the
too.
way, I have to say to her, but I've seen Whispering Angel served at some pretty high class joints.
As have I. So I was like, which end is up?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. You're okay.
That sits just right with me.
Guys, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, quick, don't turn the podcast off. I know you probably left it on by accident, but I'm Arnie Niekamp from Hello from the Magic Tavern. This is what's going on. About a year ago, I fell through a dimensional portal behind a Burger King into the fantastical land of Foon. I'm joined by my co-host, a talking badger.
Chant, please.
And a magical wizard.
I am Usador, blue wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius.
His name goes on a lot longer than that, but we don't have time for it. We interview adventurers, magical creatures, talking animals, and we talk about buttholes a lot. I apologize for that. If that sounds interesting, download Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Aye, and then you can join me in my quest to defeat the Dark Lord. Correct, Arnold?
Correct. Download it on Earwolf, and the entire back catalog is also on the Howl app.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Adam Sachs, and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.